Hi everyone, my name's Scott. Welcome to Planes, Trains, Everything, and welcome to Innsbruck in Austria. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you know I've got a habit of finding things which go wrong. Usually something very often will go pear-shaped along the way. Well, today something's going pear-shaped and I haven't even started yet. And it's this thing up here, the weather. I had this great plan. I wanted to recreate a journey which I did back in 2014. It was one of the most amazing day trips I've ever done. I caught a little red tram from here, went to the little town or village of Fulpmes, and then caught a cable car to the top of Kreuzjoch, which is 2,136 meters high. What a fantastic day that was. I wanted to recreate it and share it with you guys. One slight problem. It's been raining overnight, and from my hotel room I can see it's very, very low cloud. Aha! Do I have a plan B? Not really, but I'm going to wing this anyway. We're going to go to a place called Fulpmes, which is at the end of the tram line, and from there I'll see how bad the cloud cover is. It is supposed to improve later in the day, but that might be a little bit too late. Ding! Yes, there's one of the trams now. And we're going to be on that in about, I reckon, about 45 minutes. In the meantime, I have to go get some breakfast, get a coffee to get me up to cruising altitude. What is it about Austrian hotels? They don't have kettles. This is why the Austrian-Hungarian Empire failed, I'm sure of it. Right, let's get some breakfast, then we'll get on a red tram to Fulpmes. That was a very nice coffee, and I'm sure I'll be back before I leave Innsbruck. As one famous Austrian once said, I'll be back. Right, I've also bought my ticket online. I have a QR code. Let's see if technology works for me. And let's find the red tram to Fulpmes. Oh dear. According to the online timetable, and I've even copied a PDF and brought it with me, there are trams every 30 minutes. I seem to have missed the hourly tram by about 3 minutes. Typical. Okay, nothing more I can do apart from stay dry because it's still raining. I noticed on the departure board a place called Sightseer, and I thought that doesn't sound very German, does it? No, it's actually a Sightseer tram, and it does kind of a route around the city centre. I might do that if plan A and plan B don't work today. I'll rely on plan C, which is the Sightseer tram. Right, I know we only have about 50 minutes to wait until this tram arrives to Fulpmes. In fact, this always happens to me wherever I am. Usually people ask me for directions. No, this time it was a local, an Austrian or German guy asked me how to operate the ticket machines. Well, I'm on board the tram and I'm glad to be on board. It's getting a bit chilly out there, that's why I've got the old hat on. And when you stand in the same place long enough, a lot of strange people come up and try and talk to you. And I'm not talking about homeless people and beggars, because I haven't seen any. These are people with serious mental issues. I don't want to make fun of these people, but wow. When you've lived in the Glasgow area for so long, you think you've seen everything. Then you come to Innsbruck, and they seem to congregate around the railway station. For example, when I got off the train yesterday, there was a guy screaming at one of the seats on the platform. I don't know what the seat had done to deserve this verbal onslaught, but he was giving it everything for about 10 minutes, the same thing over and over again. Then later on last night I saw a guy going up the escalator, and he was abusing the escalator. Not the arm things where you hold on to, it was the actual steps. He was giving them a real telling off for some reason. And I'm thinking, so if you stand long enough in the one place around the railway station here at Innsbruck on a wet Sunday, you're going to attract attention. And here we are in Fulpmes. 10 years ago when I did this, I was absolutely blown away by the scenery. Even on a day like this where it's quite cloudy and a bit drizzly, it's still a beautiful trip. 1 hour out of Innsbruck, it has to be done. €3 each way, absolute bargain. Right, let's go and explore the village and then let's see if we can catch a cable car. When I was here in 2014, it was the middle of summer. The weather was absolutely glorious. 10 years later, I'm here in the middle of winter, and it's a bit treacherous. This footpath or pavement down to the town centre is like an ice rink. So I'm going to have to watch what I'm doing here. I'm still not sure about the cable car. Part of me wants to do it, the other part doesn't. I'll make the decision when I get to the bottom station, because if the summit is shrouded in cloud, and at over 2,000 metres I've got a feeling it might be, it would be foolish to spend the best part of €40 to go up and back and see absolutely nothing. There are so many things I love about Austria. I really must come back here more often. But one thing is the fact they paint things on buildings. I love it. It's not the sort of thing you find in Glasgow, is it? But here it's a very Austrian, very typical thing. I'm looking up there and I'm wondering whether it's worth going up to the top of this mountain. I think it's up that way. Another thing I like about Austria is it's very traditional, especially on a Sunday. You find most shops are actually closed. I think you need a special permit to be open on a Sunday. For example, if your shop is in an airport or near a railway station, in a tourist area, you can get a permit. Otherwise, you're shut. It's a day of rest. And this place is pretty quiet today. Okay, note to self, there is a cafe open across the road from the church, but I'm here to check out this cable car. So I might get to the cable car, make an executive decision about how low this cloud is. It's looking a bit dodgy, and if I get up to the top, there is a restaurant there and have a lunch and a coffee there. If it bombs out, I can come back here and have a lunch and a coffee here. Don't know. What do you reckon? I don't know. According to Google, the Kreuzjoch is actually open. As to whether you get a view at the top, I'll make that decision when we get there. Right, base station around here to the left and up a hill. Yeah, this road up here is a bit treacherous. Look at the snowplow on that. Yeah, no one else walking up here, I wonder why. Okay, there's the bottom station. Loads of tourists because there's buses there, and the cable cars are running. From memory, I think there's actually 2 cable cars. You get to the top of that ridge, and then there's a second one that takes you up to the mountain. That is the one that might be shrouded in cloud. Aha, it's the crazy skiers who are using these coaches. Right, up to the base station, and we'll see what's happening up there. Ten years after the first event, this looks so familiar. From what I gather, the views at the top are intermittent. so it's a bit cloudy. For 33 euros 30, it's a lot to spend to go up just to find it's cloudy to come back down again. But I do plan to be in Innsbruck this summer, and I promise to do the journey for you again in summer when you can see the view. One view I did see, which was quite pleasant, is this bar here. There's actually a bar in it, and they're serving a thing called beer. So I might actually go in there and have one, just to celebrate the fact I'm not spending 33 euros and 30 cents on a ticket up to a cloudy mountain. Right, let's go in for a beer. So I've saved myself 33 euros by not going onto a cloudy mountaintop, and I spend 5 euros 40 for Tyrolean beer. No brainer. Right, I have got either 25 minutes or 1 hour and 25 minutes to catch the tram back to Innsbruck. I think we'll go for the second one because that's rushing it, and I want to have another little look around the town. I feel the pavements are a lot slipperier than they were about an hour ago. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact I had a burger brow. Yeah, this is beautiful. I first visited Austria in 1986 and I fell in love with the place, and I've been back many times. In the summer of 2024 I featured a video called "Could I Live in Vienna?" and I thought, yeah, of course I could. But the more I researched it, the more I realized, no, I couldn't, and I wouldn't live in Vienna. You'd have to watch the video, and I will put a link below as to why I could not live in Vienna. But I thought, I could still live in Austria though, couldn't I? So this summer, maybe from June onwards, I'm thinking about coming here to Innsbruck for a few weeks. I'm going to rent an Airbnb, and I'm going to live like an Austrian. And I'd love to do that, and having been to Innsbruck a number of times, I know there's lots of little day trips you can do, and if it goes ahead, you are in for an absolute treat. Absolute treat, I guarantee it. A bit of everything for everyone. Right, let's go for a little walk around the town here, because it is very pretty, it really is. What is there not to love about Austria and Austrian architecture? It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. Could you imagine having one of the balcony rooms there? How nice would that be? I'm having to make an executive decision here. I've just realized I haven't had lunch. And I'd love to have something here, and there's a couple of restaurants which are open. Some don't open till 5. It's not even 4 yet, but I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. So what I might do is catch the 4:30 tram back to Innsbruck. That gives me a better selection, and also the fact that if I start eating here now, I'm going to miss the 4:30 tram, which means it'll be the 5:30 tram, which means getting back at 6:30 in the pitch black. Not worried about that, but it makes it a long day. So I think I might start heading back to the tram depot. I just spotted some people heading into the church. I think you should go in respectfully and have a look. I realised I'd overstayed my welcome when the alarms went off. At the front of the church there's this roped off area, and it does say alarm, but there's a Bible, and I just wanted to have a look to see if it was in modern font or the old Germanic font. I sort of went, huh? And by leaning over this rope, it set the alarms off. Better watch out what I'm doing here. I don't want to be found breaking the law, do I?
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Some of the mountain tops are actually clearing up nicely now. It's a little bit late, 4 p.m. to be going up to the top of a mountain. Also getting a bit bitter as well. But when I came back to Innsbruck, I thought, would I come back to Innsbruck? It's a case of when will I return? Because yeah, I love this kind of stuff. I love this scenery. Lots of walks, lots of adventures. June, maybe July. That's the plan anyway. If you do see these videos coming out, this is where the idea started. And here we are at the tram station. I better go on board, firstly to warm up, but also in case I change my mind and decide to stay here. It's a lovely, lovely place. Right, let's get back to Innsbruck. And here we are back at Innsbruck. The day didn't quite go according to plan. I just wasn't going to waste that sort of money going up to the top of a mountain which was shrouded in cloud. But it did help me decide I will be back this summer, and I might try and stay a week or two here in Innsbruck. Anyway guys, thanks very much for coming along, and I'll see you next time.